Rachel, thank you for coming and being a part of our creator studio and talking about Instagram. Instagram is a hot topic, and I'm so glad that you could come in and be a part of our community and guide all of us in the whole Instagram world. So I'm just going to let you take over and introduce yourself, and then let's talk about Instagram.
Perfect. So my name is Rachel, and I help business owners get more clients with simple and effective social media strategies. I focus on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram and Facebook are what I know, they're what I'm most comfortable with, but the strategies that I teach can actually be used across all platforms. So basically what I help business owners do is take the cold followers that they have and collect cold followers and turn them into warm leads. And then they take over sales from there. So yeah, that's what I do. So, Instagram's kind of, where it's at right now. It's a great platform for people who are creatives, coaches, consultants, things like that. It's a great platform for people who have products and services, where they take pictures and videos, and it's doing everything. Instagram is moving a lot more now towards video and kind of away from still graphics and pictures. They'll still allow you to post it, but videos and reels and videos and stories are just getting a much better reach right now than stills and graphics. So yeah, that's kind of what I do. I just kind of keep up with all of the growing trends and figure out how we're going to get people to get to your page, figure out who you are, what you do, and how you can help them, and how they can contact you through your page. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So my talk for tonight, I have it right here on my handy dandy iPad. So if you see me looking away, I'm just reading. So tonight we're just going to talk about the top 5 things. There's actually more than that, but just the top 5 things that I feel your business Instagram page should have to attract and keep your ideal clients, right? So the first thing that I always talk about when I do my little Instagram audits is the handle versus the name field. So if you have a phone right now and you can pull your phone out and pull your Instagram up on your phone, just a side note, Instagram was built for a mobile platform. They are making it more PC and laptop friendly, but there are still things that you cannot access on Instagram on your laptop and PC. But over the course of the last month or so, they have rolled out being able to actually post now from your laptop or PC, which has been awesome. But there's still some things that you can't see. It's still laid out much better for mobile. So whenever I'm working with someone one-on-one, we always work on the mobile version, just because you can see everything on that. So the first thing, like I said, is handle versus name. So the handle is what you're going to see when you're looking at your page on Instagram. The handle is going to be up at the very top, and the field name is going to be right under your profile picture. So the first thing that I always recommend is that your handle and your name be different, right? So the way that I like to set my clients up is to have the handle be their business name with as little periods and underscores and numbers as possible, right? You never want to have more than one period or one underscore in your handle, because Instagram will flag that as a possible spam account. The reason that they do that is because a lot of times spam accounts will start out with a name, and then once they get blocked by enough people or shut down by Instagram, they'll use the same name, but they'll just put a dash, underscore or a period in the name. So some people will still recognize if people were, dealing with them. And then if they get shut down again, they'll just put two periods or 2 underscores. So you just want to make sure, if you can, it's just your business name, all one name, right? And then your name underneath should be different than that, because when you're searching on Instagram for a business or for a name, when you start typing in the name, a list will come up, right? So a list will come up of people that have that name. And what you want to do, if you have your business name up in the handle and you have your business name underneath your profile picture, it's just going to say your business name, right? So, but if you have your business name as your handle and you have your first and last name plus your title as your name, then in the search results, you come up as Shimmer Beauty in the Biz, Rachel Kerr, business coach, right? Instead of Shimmer Beauty in the Biz, Shimmer Beauty in the Biz. So just in the search results alone, it's going to tell my potential clients more about who I am than, possibly somebody else, right? So then they choose to come to my page. So the next thing that we want to do is make sure that our profile picture is actually our profile picture. So this is tip number 2. It's called a profile picture for a reason. There is a specific reason it's not called a profile logo, because people actually want to see your face, and pictures of faces, pictures of people do better in the algorithm than a profile picture that is actually a profile logo, if that makes sense. So one thing I always tell my clients is people want to know who they are talking to, right? So if somebody comes to your page and decides, they just want to look at your bio, they can see your profile picture there. They don't have to scroll through your entire feed to try and find pictures of you, because we are a society of people who likes to have a connection, right? This is human nature. So we don't want to talk to a logo. We want to talk to a person with eyeballs, a nose, and a mouth, right? So I always recommend having a professional headshot if you can afford that. If not, if you've got an iPhone, put it in portrait mode, get some really good lighting, maybe get outside. And just have a really nice picture of, head, shoulders, smiling, friendly, happy. Look, I'm not a serial killer, right? I'm somebody that you want to do business with. So profile picture is super important. So if you've got your logo there right now, get rid of it and put a picture of yourself, right? The third tip that I have for you is about your bio. So your bio should always answer the question, what's in it for me, from the client, right? So your clients, this is, I tell a lot of my one-on-one clients that are maybe doctors or chiropractors or estheticians, or, they have all these certifications and everything that they need to have to do, to do their job. But your average client doesn't really care how many certifications you have. They just want to make sure that you're not going to mess up their brows or mess up their hair, or, something, mess up their back, whatever your occupation is. So filling up your bio with 6 times certified lash artist and 4 times certified brow microblading, it doesn't matter. That's just kind of garbage in there. So what I tell my clients is take out the fluff, and you can just put certified brow artist, certified lash artist, right? Licensed hairdresser, whatever it is for your social proof. But you really want to tell your client what it is you're going to be able to do for them. How is it that you're going to make them feel? So a lot of times I'll have my clients really just shorten down and condense their I help statement and put their I help statement in there. Just make it really short. Only has to be, just shorten it down to 10 words. Take all of the fluff out, right? So if you say, I help busy, overwhelmed moms organize their refrigerator, right? Okay, well, first of all, moms are always overwhelmed and busy. So you can go ahead and take all of that out there. You can say, I help moms organize their refrigerators, right? And then you can also, you have room to put your social proof, which is whatever license you have or whatever school you went to, whatever it is that is going to make you seem like you are knowledgeable and capable of doing the job, right? So just make sure your bio tells your client what it is you're going to be able to do for them. The second thing that your bio needs to have in it is a specific call to action. A lot of times I'll see these bios that they give you all the great information. They're absolutely awesome. But we don't know how to get a hold of the person. So if you are well-versed in Instagram, then chances are, oh, I can send this person a DM, right? Or if you're really well-versed in Instagram, you know where the book now button is, and you're just hoping that if you click that, it sends you somewhere that you're supposed to go. But Instagram is really trying hard right now to become a search engine. So that's why they've taken away the need to put a hashtag in front of anything that you're searching for. Now you can use the search bar as just a regular search bar. So we want to make sure that we're playing Instagram's game about being a searchable business. So we want to make sure that we have a call to action in the bio, because a lot of people are coming to Instagram now to search for businesses and to search for people, but they don't really know where to find everything. So it's just good to give them directions. So a lot of times, if my one-on-one clients are brand new to coaching or brand new to, whatever it is they're doing, a lot of times they don't have a booking site yet. They don't really have a lot of things set up. So I just tell them, I'm like, just put DM to book in your bio or DM for more info, right? It can be as simple as that. So that way, when somebody comes to their page and they decide this person can help me, they know how to get a hold of that person. Now, once I get a hold of your Instagram page, we're going to make sure that it is completely filled out. So once you go into your bio and start editing, there's actually places, there's fields in there for your website. There's fields in there for, all this stuff, your location and everything that you can fill out. So what I would do is put your booking link in where where the website field is, and then that will come up in your bio. But I would still say in your bio, click the link below to book with me, or click the link below for more details, so somebody knows exactly what they're supposed to do. Also on Instagram, there is a book now button that you can use if you've got the business page, which I highly recommend the business or creator page if you are a business, not a personal page, because that will give you a book now button, and it also gives you insights so you can see how your posts are performing, which is really important. But the book now button, you can also hook that up to a booking website, but you're also going to need to tell your client that, hey, if you want to get in touch with me, click the book now button. Now, here's the caveat on that though. Still on your PC and on your laptop, that book now button does not show up. So if you have a book now button and it's hooked up to something, then what you're going to want to do is also make sure that you have a website and a call to action to click the website. Just because the book now button on the PC and the laptop, you actually have to go up to the menu, drop down the menu, so on and so forth to get that option. Hopefully that will change. I think it's going to change. I haven't heard any change of that coming down the pike, but sometimes we just get surprised. And then finally, my fifth tip is followers and your feed. So one thing that we talk about when we talk about Facebook a lot is the organic reach. So, and what I mean by organic reach is basically reach that you don't have to pay for. So when you make a post, then it usually goes out to you if you're doing well. And this also depends on how many followers you have too. The more followers you have, the less organic reach you're going to get, because for some reason the algorithm says if you've got a crap ton of followers, then you just need to pay for everything. So the smaller amount of followers you have, the higher engagement you're going to have. But your organic reach is typically about 5%. If you're doing better than 5%, if you've got 100 followers, well, I should say, if you've got 1,000 followers and you've got 50 people that are engaging with all of your posts, that is absolutely amazing. Like you're knocking it out of the park. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. It's pretty unheard of. So we want to make sure on your feed that you are posting educational, entertaining, and engaging posts, right? Because what we want to do is we want to get people, when they see your post, to engage with your post. Because if they engage with your post, if they leave you a comment and then you comment back, you've all of a sudden started a conversation under that post. That tells Instagram that this person likes your content and you like communicating with this person. So now when you're posting content in the future, Instagram's going to be like, oh, let's continue sending her posts out to this person because this person likes her post, is interested. So the whole object is to keep people on the platform. That's what Instagram wants. So if you can keep people on the platform, you're going to be favored. So if you continue to do that enough, if you continue to produce content that people are engaging with, then what happens is Instagram says, oh, this certain type of person, 25-year-old male, whatever their ID is, right, loves her page and her content. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sending her content out to more people that look like that, even if they're not following her. And then that's when you start gaining followers, right? So that's why when someone usually hits up around, I'd say between 8 and 12,000 followers, all of a sudden you start getting hundreds of followers every single day because your content is just getting shoved out to so many different people. It's a catch-22. There's downsides to that as well, which I can explain later. But you just want to make sure that the posts that you're making are engaging. So ask questions on your posts. If you are a service provider or you are a coach, think about the things that your clients will come and ask you before they start working with you, right? So a lot of times when I first started coaching, I dealt a lot with beauty professionals. That was kind of where I started. And so, if you go and see a hairdresser, and maybe you haven't seen a hairdresser in a really long time and you want to change the color of your hair, you always have questions like, is it going to damage my hair? Am I going to have to get my hair cut? How do I know what tone to go? How do I know how many shades? How long is it going to get me from this color to platinum blonde, right? So you have all of these questions, and these are absolutely a gold mine for content. So you can take every single question or every single problem that one of your clients had, and you can make each one of those into a piece of content, whether you want to do a reel or whether you want to do just a graphic square or a picture, whatever it is that you want to do. That's your content. That's your education content right there. Because when somebody comes to your page looking for your service, you're teaching them right then and there. And it's less time that you have to spend teaching them as well. You can get right to the nitty gritty, right? Asking engaging questions, right? So every 3 or 4 posts, you should be asking a question, right? Because you want people to comment in the comment section so that you get that back and forth engagement. So that Instagram knows that people are actually, interested in what it is that you're posting. And then finally, entertainment. We want to see who you are. Like, sometimes you land on these Instagram pages and they're so curated and everything's so perfect, and you just there's this disconnect there because it doesn't seem like you're dealing with a real person. If you become entertaining, or if you're doing a lot of reels, doing a lot of video where people can actually see you speak and talk, and you're entertaining them either with education or you're being funny or whatever it is that you do, it's just a really good way to, again, establish more of that know, like, and trust, because you can't really establish the trust if your Instagram feed is just full of these curated pictures that aren't even you, or quotes that are from somebody else. It's just really hard to get to know you as a person. And one of the things that I really harp on when I'm coaching is social media is a long game. It's not a short game. The best way to use social media is to absolutely build relationships for the long term. That's how you're going to get your clients, is building a relationship, right? Because we have all witnessed on Facebook where somebody slides into your messenger box. You've never even heard of them before. You've never had a conversation with them before. You might not even be friends with them. And they slid in anyway. And they're like, so, hey, how's your day going today? And you just, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up and you're like, what's this person trying to sell me? Like, automatically, you're just like, I'm done. So it's just really important that we start to build that know, like, and trust, that we build those relationships with people before we start talking to them about our business, or else we just sound like sleazy salespeople, right? And that's no fun for anyone. So those are my 5 tips: your name versus your handle, your profile picture instead of a logo, your bio should answer the question, what's in it for me, for your client. You need a specific call to action in your bio. And then finally, your followers and your feed. Make sure you have the right followers, people that are interested and engaging in your content, and make sure that the things that you're posting are engaging, educational, and entertaining for those clients. So that's really all I have for the 5 things. So I have a workshop coming up on February 24th. It's next Thursday night. In this workshop, we dive into these 5 things a lot deeper. In the workshop, we also go through what I call a content wheel. So we actually customize and curate content for you for roughly, I think it's 50 or 60 days. If you're anything like me, that's a year's worth of content, because I am a true believer in repurposing content. I don't think that we should be coming up with fresh new content all the time, especially if you're concentrating on growing your platforms, because if you're just repurposing content every 30 or 60 days, it's always going to be new eyeballs on it. And with a 5% organic reach, it doesn't matter. No one's going to see your post twice. And if they do, that means they're really following you and they're probably already a client. So, and then the third element that we do in the workshop is I teach you a marketing strategy for Instagram. And it's the marketing strategy that I use to get every single one of my clients off Instagram. So I get about 20 to 30 warm leads on Instagram every single week. And I do it with a non-salesy technique. I don't I don't use any sales verbiage at all. It's all about offering free value and then pointing them towards that free value that's either in my group or on my websites or a workshop or anything like that that I've got coming up. So that workshop that I have coming up is $49. And if you guys want the link or anything, I'm sure that Karen has the information, or I can drop it in the group somewhere. So yeah, so I guess we're going to open it up for questions.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Rachel. Oh my gosh, I'm just sitting here writing so many notes because that's, a lot of us have been on Instagram, but, there's all those different things just to pay attention to. So just to make it go just so smoothly. So we do have a question actually from Mary, and I'm going to just keep the recording going so the other ladies can hear the answers to these questions too, if that's okay. Mary is asking, could you please briefly describe what a story and a reel are? And what about hashtags?
Okay. Woo. Okay. Story, reel, hashtags. Okay. So the story is a kind of a mini video, or you could do a graphic. It lasts for 24 hours, right? And then it disappears. This is going to be so confusing. Okay, it disappears unless you save it to your highlights, where you can save it forever. So highlights are a completely different thing, but certainly, did you say Mary asked this question?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so we can go into all that later, Mary. But so a story basically, if somebody has a live story up right at that moment, you can kind of tell because their profile picture is it's up in the corner, and then you'll see kind of this rainbow ring around their profile picture. And if you click on their profile picture, their story will come up. And so basically it's just a short post. I think you can do like 15-second video, or you can do a still, or you can actually create stories in there where you can just, type some, text in, some copy in, give a call to action, whatever it is you want to do. They also have polls, quizzes, those work really well. But it's just up for 24 hours. Okay. So a reel is absolutely the best way, hands down right now, to get more eyes on your profile. There's a lot of resistance towards reels, but I'm telling you, you do not have to dance and act a fool in order to make a good reel. There's a million different ways that you can make a good reel. But reels are basically, they're just short form video. You can use music that Instagram supplies for you. You can pick music, you can put music to it. If you want to point to text, you can do that and then put little, text things on the screen. But basically a reel is just a short form entertaining video. And now a reel can be stored. You can put it on your regular feed as a post, right? Or if you have a really curated feed and you don't really want the reel on there, there's actually a separate tab where you can keep all your reels as well. But I highly recommend putting it on your feed because more people are going to see it that way. So you've got the stories, which is super short form videos, or graphics, still graphics or text, and those are only up for 24 hours. And then you've got the reels, which can be on your feed forever. Okay. And then you asked about hashtags and hashtags. So the jury's still out really on hashtags. So hashtags are they used to be the only way that you could search on Instagram, but now Instagram has changed that to where you can just type anything you want in the search bar and it will come up. So hashtags are still useful if you want to follow a certain hashtag. So like when I make a post in my hashtags, one of the hashtags that I use all the time is hashtag Shimmer Beauty in the Biz. So it's the name of my business. So my clients, if they ever want to just search the hashtag Shimmer Beauty in the Biz, every post that I have ever made with that hashtag is just going to all come up for them, right? So they can also get it by going to my feed as well. But a better example would be, let's say you love pugs, okay? And that's just what you want to look at all day long. So you could put hashtag pug puppies, right? And so then what comes up is just pages and pages of hashtag anybody who posted with hashtag pug puppies, right? So you can use the hashtags in two ways. You can use it to find stuff that you just want to look at. right? As a business owner, we use hashtags a little bit differently. So as a business owner, we search up the hashtags that our ideal client would probably be using, right? So let's say my ideal client was a lash artist. She does lash extensions. That would be my ideal client. So my ideal client, when she posts her pictures on Instagram of her work, she'll probably put a hashtag lash extensions, right? Or Seattle lashes or something like that. So then what I do is I go in and I put in the hashtag lash extensions, and all these posts come up of eyelash extensions that are probably done by lash artists. So I just click the tag over to recent instead of top post, because the top posts will come up, the ones that are most popular. But if you just click it over to recent, the most recent posts will come up. And then I just click on the profile and I check out their profile, make sure that they're my ideal client. And if they are, I will like 5 of their posts, and I'll comment on a couple of their posts, and I'll follow them. And then hopefully they will follow me back, and they will start seeing my information, my help for them. So that's it with the reels, the stories, and the hashtags. Hopefully that answered your question.
Yes, that was fabulous. And it looks like, Victoria, if you want to unmute, you have a question.
Hey, okay, so
Hi.
this is a long question. Okay, so I've been doing reels, and I've been doing reels for my I do decks of abundance affirmations. And so I lay out like pretty crystals and stuff like that. And so I had noticed that there were like a couple hundred views on reels, and then I did one that was like 4,000 views. And I was like, this girl's got to figure it out. And then my next one, because I used the same hashtags and did like a similar type of theme. And the next one, it was like 400 views. I'm all wah wah. And so I just cannot get this figured out. I feel like I'm researching all the hashtags, spending so much time on this. And I swear Instagram is just not my friend. So So when things like that happen, is it just like the algorithm was happy with me one day and it's like, I'm going to give you a gift, and then maybe not the next day? So how really does that work in terms of visibility with reels and the like?
Yeah. So if we knew how the algorithm worked, I'd be a gazillionaire, because this is like the biggest question that we always have. So the algorithm changes every hour. That's just the nature of the game. So when you have a reel that goes viral, usually a couple of things happened. You posted at the right time of day, and that can change. It can change depending on who's watching your reel, because we live in a 24-hour global society, right? So, but when I say the right time, you just had a lot of people at that point in time that saw the reel. So, and the faster someone comments or likes the reel, the more important Instagram thinks it is. So let's say you sent it out at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is a really busy time on Instagram, right? So let's say you sent it out at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let's say that the audio that you chose was a trending audio, right? So if between those two things, like you had 5 or 6 people that commented or liked your reel right away, then Instagram's like, oh, whoa, let's send it out to 15 people. And then they liked it. Oh, let's send it out to, 2,500 people and see what happens there. And basically for a reel, all someone really has to do is watch it for 3 seconds or more, and it counts as a view. So that's kind of what happens there. The bigger question is did you get a lot of followers from it, right? Because we want to make sure that the reels are not just being viewed lots of times, but actually we're creating business from them, right? We're creating followers from them. So, because sometimes, something can go viral and hit, or something can be seen by a lot of people, but if nobody's commenting on it, or if nobody's kind of really engaging with it, it was nice, but yeah, you're probably going to go back to What may have happened is it's kind of like a test, right? Let's send her reel out to 4,000 people and see how many people engage with it. If nothing engages with it, then we'll just go back to where we were sending it out before, right? So that could have played a little bit into it as well. But you never know. Also, consistency with reels is going to be a big thing. Instagram and consistency go hand in hand. They want to know when they can expect content from you. So like some of my clients, when I first start with them, they're very, very social media resistant. They think that it's a time suck. They think they have to be on it every single day. They think it's going to take them hours. They don't understand it. So we start with 2 times a week, like 9 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday and 9 o'clock in the morning on a Friday, right? And we do that for 6 weeks. That's what they do. Because what happens is you start to create this, I'm making Instagram sound like a person. It's not a person, but it sort of is a person. But you're creating this trust with Instagram that they're like, oh, it's Friday morning. Let's see if her 9 o'clock post comes out. Oh, it came out. We can now depend on her to post regularly every Friday morning at 9 o'clock. So now it's safe sending people that want that content to her account, right? So, and then you just continue growing from there, depending on, how much time you have. And there's obviously planning apps if you want to post more than that. I will say that even though I start my clients that are social media resistant out with just, 1 or 2 posts a week, there's no argument. The more you post, the more reach you're going to get and the better results you're going to get. That's just the name of the game. If you're doing 3 reels a day and you're consistent with it, you are going to grow your Instagram account so fast, right? That's just how it works. If you're doing one reel a week, if you stay consistent with it, you'll grow, but the growth is still going to be much smaller, right? So I understand what you're saying about reels. I have a few reels that I've got one reel that just went off the charts, and it was kind of not a great thing for me because it was one of the things that propelled my follower jump. And I got a bunch of people that weren't my ideal client, like too many, and now I can't get rid of them. So I like screwed up my entire algorithm. But so it can be a catch-22. So just make sure when you are posting reels, they are very relevant to your business. Because sometimes if you tend to get a little bit off, if you want to follow a trend that doesn't really fall in line with your business, I've made a lot of mistakes, and that was one of them. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I have another question for you. So, because I know you mentioned like consistency in terms of timing and when you're posting. I noticed that because I usually schedule stuff through Facebook, but now there's this new Facebook that's like, this is the best time to schedule this post. But then what I've noticed with Instagram is I'm like, well, that's 2 days from now. Like I want this to go out like in the next 12 hours. So I don't know that I trust that. So I don't, so I don't know what that's all about. Can you
Yeah. So you should always just go by your insights. So you can go onto Instagram, go into your insights. You can, I can't remember what tab it's under, but it's down there somewhere. Figure out who your followers are, right? It shows you like the percentage of female, percentage of male followers, where they're following you from. So you can tell what country they're in. You can tell, kind of like basically what time zone or something like that they're going to be in. But then there's also a graph down at the very bottom that shows you most popular days, like when most people are on the platform. And then it also shows you most popular times on those days when your followers are on that platform, right? So you can always go by that. So sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not. Like I said, when you get to where I am with the amount of followers that you have, I look at my graph and basically Monday through Friday, it's just straight all the way across 9 to 6, 9 to 6, 9 to 6. It's just because I just have too many followers for that to even matter anymore. But as you're still growing your account, the insights they're really valuable because you can kind of see, what's going on, who's following you. Because if you are a business owner and your ideal target market is females, and you look at your Instagram account and you've got 50% men on there, then we need to do something about the content that you're putting out, because the content is attracting the wrong people. My feeling is if you are an entrepreneur that caters towards a certain group of people, that certain group of people should make up at least 80% of your followers. If it doesn't, then we need to go in and kind of, wash it out a little bit. That's the mistake that I made with one of my reels. Is I had my my following curated perfectly. I was like 93% female and 7% male. And then I did a couple of reels that got quite a bit of views. And now I'm like at 70-30. So I've got to figure out how to, yeah, it's just a job for somebody else, not for me, but I got to figure out how to get them off there because that's not my ideal target market. That's not who I prefer to work with. So yeah.
Awesome. So quick question about reels, since we were talking about that. What is the length of a reel? And can you give us just a real quick example of like just what we could start out with and kind of a little format?
Yeah. So reels, when they first came out, I believe they used to be 15 and 30 seconds, but now I believe they are up. You can do a reel up to a minute now. So super short form video still. And then what was your next question?
Kind of what would be a format? What would you go on there and do?
So there's a lot of, I mean, there's so many things that you can do. So a lot of people don't want to do reels because they feel like they've got to get on the reel and dance and lip sync, right? So no, I would highly recommend using trending sound or trending music if you can, right? Anything that's trending is going to work better than something that's not trending. But if you are not comfortable dancing and singing or even showing your face, you can make a slideshow, for crying out loud. I made a slideshow just the other day of like 12 reviews that I had screenshot, right? So I screenshot 12 reviews, cropped them out, put them in like a little slideshow that lasted like 57 seconds, put it to trending music and just threw it up there. That's a reel. Yeah, it's so you don't have to, a lot of my reels are just small little business tips, right? So I'll just get on and I will talk for, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds, just super quick snippet. Sometimes I don't even put sound on them at all, right? And just send it off. You don't have to dance and sing. Now, I will say, like I said before, trending music is always going to boost you up. Any trending hashtags is always going to boost you up. The pointing to the text that I hate so much is popular. It's going to boost you up. So if you are down with that, certainly try it. For me, I don't like it because it takes too much time to edit. And I just don't have, sometimes editing a reel, if you want to get like, you see these crazy creative reels, they can take hours to edit. And then if you screw it up, you got to start all over again. And I don't have time for that. So I just found a couple of cheat codes, right? Like, oh, a carousel. And I can, sometimes I put like, slideshows in iMovie and I make a 57-minute video and then just throw that up with some trending music. Sometimes I'll cheat and just do a little reel with my dogs, right? Because, they're my dogs and people love animals. So you certainly don't have to dance and sing and, do that type of stuff. So I would just say use trending music, use trending hashtags, and just do whatever you feel comfortable doing because any reels are going to be better than no reels, right? We just want to make sure that we're doing them. Right now, I used to do reels a lot. Right now, I'm only doing them every Friday because I'm doing a live on a Wednesday now and I do a reel on a Friday and then I just do my other stuff in between because I like to plan. I pre-plan all my content out besides the live and the reel for a month at a time on Planoly because I just don't have time right now to post individually every single day. So to put the live videos on there, it's just 2 a week because that's what I can handle right now. But in March, I'm going to be reeling every single day. That's really going to be the only posts that I do, just because I kind of want to test the market a little bit and see if this real thing really is a real thing.
Well, awesome, Rachel. What great information. And so if the ladies want to dive deeper into this, they can head on over to your workshop and we'll make sure we'll put the links of that in all of the postings where we post this. And so any last question any of you have before we?
I think Mary had a question.
Okay, Mary, go ahead.
And I think it's pretty simplified. So like, is a reel different? Like there's a live video, a reel is then a pre-prepared thing that you're creating and then posting?
You can do both. So you can do a pre-prepared video, right? So you can do all the editing and, re-recording that you want to do. But you can also record the reel right through the app as well. So I recommend if you're comfortable doing it right through the app, if you're going to do, face shots, just because when Instagram gives you toys, they want you to use all the toys, right? So they want you to use the tools that they give you to make the reel. They give you a camera and a microphone to do the reel. So they prefer that you use it. Now, that doesn't mean that I can't free record a video and post it up as a reel and it's not going to do well. It might, depending on the content, depending on when I post it, depending on what music I put to it, right? But if you use all of Instagram's tools and not your separate, photos or camera, then you have a much better chance. It's going to play higher up in the algorithm.
So then when you do, a reel that's live, are you able to still add music and stuff to it later or, okay.
Yeah. So you will, you'll just you'll go to where you would normally just post something, right? And then you've got the option to post, live, story, or reel, right? So you'll just hit reel and then the forward facing camera will come up. That's how it automatically goes. Down your left-hand side, as you're looking at the screen, are all of your different options. And so you can record whatever it is that you want to record. And then you can click the little music icon at the top of that little menu and you can add music to it. So whatever music that you want. Now, if you're speaking and you're adding music a little bit further along in the editing process, you can take the background music down a little bit so that we can still hear your voice over the top of it.
And will it give you choices of music to add or? Okay.
Hundreds of thousands of choices.
Awesome.
You don't even want to start going through the whole list. Usually what I do is I will spend a day scrolling through reels and I'll see what the most popular and trending songs are. And I'll use one of those if I don't already have something in mind. But sometimes, like if I'm posting about a money mindset tip or, something like that, then I'll just pick whatever song I want that maybe, has the word money in it, right? I don't always use trending sounds, but if you want a trending sound, you just have to scroll through reels, for part of a day, you'll find them. And then you can save. If you're watching somebody else's reel and you like the sound that they're using, the music or the sound, then you can click save audio and it'll save it to your file. So that way, when you make your reel, you can just use that sound as well.
Okay, I feel so old. So, I use Instagram, but how can you just scroll? How can you select just to look at other people's reels?
You can literally, there's a button at the bottom of your phone.
Yeah.
At the bottom, well, when you go to Instagram, if you go to your, there's a little home button,
Right.
and then there should be a little square with a little triangle in it.
Yep. Those are the reels. Okay.
Yeah. And you can just
All
scroll
right.
reels all day long.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
I have one more quick question.
Okay, go
Sorry,
ahead.
I know we have to go. How can you tell what music is trending?
It will say trending on it, or it will have like this little like arrow,
Okay.
like this little crooked arrow thing that goes upwards.
Got it.
It'll have that little icon by it if it's trending.
Okay. And that's when you go to put music on your reel, it'll have the little thingy.
No, so you can only find you can't go to put music on your reel and then pick trending sounds. You have to find trending sounds by watching other people's reels.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
It keeps you on the platform.
Yeah, so many things to learn. They're all the nuances of even just one of the pieces is so intricate and so much to learn. But Rachel, thank you for coming and joining us today and answering questions and just being here for the ladies and looking forward to your upcoming workshop. Yay!
All right,
And
awesome. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.